Can the Nuggets rebound after a largely disappointing 2024? After winning the NBA championship in 2023, the Denver Nuggets got bounced in 7 games in Round 2 of the 2024 playoffs to a Minnesota Timberwolves team custom-built by Denver's former front office head Tim Connelly to do just that. This season, the Nuggets have a 16-13, 552 record and are 7th in the Western Conference, compared with going 19-10, 655, and 3rd in the West at the same 29-game mark last year. These are just 2 markers of the various ways the Nuggets star has, if not outright fallen, at least meaningfully slipped in 2024 following the apex of their championship success. And this has happened despite Nikola Jokic winning his 3rd MVP award last May and subsequently putting together one of, if not the, greatest season starts in NBA history, with a phenomenal line of 30.5 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 9.5 assists, with his individual accomplishments standing out by far as the 2 brightest spots in Denver's calendar year. None of which is to suggest that the Nuggets' performance over the last year is not respectable in the larger context of the league. Tying Denver's franchise record high total of 57 wins and losing a hard-fought playoff series to a team led by 2 All-Stars in Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, and 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert, would be a terrific outcome for most other NBA teams. Consider the Lakers and Warriors, led respectively by multi-MVP winners LeBron James and Steph Curry, who last season both ended up having to fight for their playoff lives in the play-in tournament, with only Los Angeles advancing, and then losing after that in a 5-game gentleman's sweep to Denver in the first round. Likewise, for the average NBA team, there's absolutely no shame in being 7th in this season's uber-competitive Western Conference, which currently features 11 teams at or above 500 compared with 7 in the East, and with only 2.5 games separating the 5th through 11th seeds in the West. Again, consider different teams with top-end talent, such as the Warriors, who are now out of even the play-in picture in the West at 11th, and Joel Embiid's 76ers, who sit at an equally low 11th in the other conference, with an 11-17 losing record. The Nuggets might look, and technically are, if not in ideal territory, at least well-positioned by comparison. But in the context of a team that effectively has championship or bust aspirations, and in light of their generational franchise superstar Nikola Jokic, the best player the organization has ever had, and likely will, on the cusp of turning 30 in February with the clock ticking on his prime years, the Nuggets' 2024 performance simply has not been good enough, and does not live up to the standards the organization has set for itself. And it's getting worse. To wit, after an impressive 7-3 start, Denver has put up a lowly record of 9 wins and 10 losses, 474, sliding to a frustratingly subpar 19th in the league in this most recent stretch, and culminating with a downright embarrassing loss to the Cavaliers, who put up consecutive 40-point quarters on the Nuggets' faltering defense in the first half of their 149-135 win. A little over a year ago, fresh off the Nuggets' title win, General Manager Calvin Booth asserted in an interview with the Ringer that although Denver's guys are tired, and it's going to be hard to repeat, that, if everything is optimized, we should win 3 or 4 titles. For a multitude of reasons, however, that optimization, which theoretically should spawn a dynastic multi-championship run over the next 5 years, the timeframe Booth himself defined as the remainder of Jokic's prime on media day several months ago, has clearly not manifested. While the Nuggets' offense, which was 5th in the league last season, has held steady at 6th, their defense has dropped from 9th to 19th, the net result being their differential in points per 100 possessions dropping from plus 5.9 to plus 2.7, or from 4th to 9th in the NBA per cleaning the glass. This is not the profile of a championship contender. As the chart above shows, in the last 20 NBA seasons, only 2 teams, the Nuggets themselves last year and the Warriors in the previous season, managed to win a title without being top 10 in both offensive and defensive rating. Nearly every season, for a team to be less than top 10 on either end of the court proves to be a championship disqualifier. And by that metric, despite pulling off the improbable last season, the Nuggets currently do not qualify as a title contender. Which is not to say they can't get there, but they're not there now. What will it take for them to restore contender status and legitimately get back in the game? Trades around Michael Porter Jr., especially with respect to potential return player Zach LaVine from the Bulls, have been swirling. And who knows, perhaps the addition of a star player who's more capable of shot creation, even maybe at the expense of size and rebounding, could be the lift Denver needs. But the problem seems to run deeper. If a word cloud were created of all adjectives Nuggets and NBA media have used to describe this season for Denver, the clear standout would be malaise. The Nuggets simply do not look or play like themselves anymore. A team that once was defined by its resilience and don't give uppness, as best exemplified by their historic return from 2-3 to 1 playoff deficits in the 2000 playoffs, has the body language, demeanor, and on-court results of a team that just doesn't care anymore. Could a trade inject new, rejuvenating life into this equation? Possibly. But at least on the surface, that would appear to be a band-aid solution to a deeper problem of identity, philosophy, and culture which seems to be plaguing Denver this season. One which soul-searching may provide a better solution for then shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic. The Denver Nuggets have the best basketball player in the world in Nikola Jokic. But their performance belies a host of problems which at best are not facilitating his and their championship prospects, and at worst are proactively holding it back. As we turn the corner into the new year and the latter half of the season, the next stretch will largely determine whether Jokic's prime will be squandered or optimized. And from the players to the coaching staff to the front office, the obligation is on all of them to figure it out and get back on track, or squander the absolute best championship opportunity window in Denver Nuggets history.